Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a college Q&A. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to ask me some questions. So if you want to participate in future Q&A or video ideas, make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's KK0711, like literally every other social media platform that I have. Before we get into it, I go to Marquette University. I study communications and advertising and I minor in graphic design. First one is, what is your dream job? So like I just said, I am an advertising major, so I would love to work on the creative side of advertising, doing campaigns, logo design, stuff like that. I really do like social media. I would definitely like to lean towards the lifestyle, social media, stuff like that kind of category, which is really fun because I have been doing YouTube for so long and it's something I really enjoy. So the next question is, how do you pick your schedule and how many credits do you take? Scheduling is it's an ish for sure. For our school, it goes by like tier, so like seniors with X amount of credits go first and then freshmen pretty much go last. So I cannot tell you how much stress scheduling classes has been for all of my friends and myself included. I would say for me, how I pick my schedule is I refuse 8 a.m.s. I took an 8 a.m. theology freshman year, never did an 8 a.m. ever again. And as you get older and you do build up your credit where you are ahead of some people, where you get kind of like first priority of things, I would recommend trying to not take Friday classes. For me personally, I book out my Tuesday and Thursday, Monday, Wednesdays, and just go from like 9:30 to 2 or 3. Sometimes I've had to throw in a few night classes there, which honestly they're not my favorite, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do, and I would rather have one longer class on a Monday than have class till 3 p.m. on Friday. So it's kind of just a preference, but I would say just redo your schedule. Have a million schedules like as your backups, because odds are the first schedule you pick, especially at Marquette, you're never gonna get it until you get a little bit older. And how many credits do I take? So I have always taken 18 credits. So 18 credits for me is 6 classes, which is definitely above average. I think most people stay around like 12 to 15 credits, which is the like normal amount. But for me, I just want to knock out my time, get as much done as I can the fastest. And following up that question is, how are you graduating early? So like I just said, I've taken 18 credits every semester, so I've pretty much taken an extra class or 2 for my entire course, which is why I'm actually graduating in December this year, which is crazy because that's like 7 months away and I'm not ready for that, but it's happening. So I am graduating early. It makes me very nervous, but I think it's a great way for me to get my foot in the door early and just be done. Like, I love school, I love learning, but just to be done one semester early, save some money, I'm happy with that. The next question is, how do you stay fit in college and not gain the freshman 15? Here's the thing, I look back at photos of myself from my senior year in high school, and at the time I didn't know, but I was really sick and I had lost probably 20 or 30 pounds. Now I'm a diabetic. I think the biggest thing is when you go to college and you're no longer on your parents' meal plan, you're on a school meal plan, it's very easy to eat the brownies or the cupcakes or the burgers, and I think I did pretty well. I wouldn't say I gained the freshman 15 at all, mainly because I just gained the weight back from like the diabetes and everything, and like I just went back to my like normal weight. So I didn't like go overweight ever at college. I definitely think the freshman 15 more comes from doing cake stands at parties, shoving your face with food afterwards. So if you don't do that, I think you'll be okay. So with that, do you cook just for one meal or do you cook to have leftovers? Also, do you meal prep or just cook when you eat? So I would love to say that I meal prep. I have tried to meal prep, but I just can't do it. A lot of the times if I'm cooking chicken and make a stir fry, I'll cook extra chicken for the next day because personally I just don't have a lot of time in the afternoons to make a whole lunch for myself. So I would say I try to always have like leftovers from dinner, but I have yet to meal prep completely. We have meal prep like containers, so that's a start. Do you regret not joining a sorority? So I will link my sorority recruitment and all that videos down below. I actually did a whole video about why I didn't join a sorority, but pretty much I always went in with the intention to meet people and not necessarily join a sorority, which I'm very glad that I did because I met one of my bestie girls, Cassidy. I'm sure you're watching this. I love you. You're amazing. So glad I met you. and I don't regret not joining a sorority. I think for me personally, I've grown up always having more guy friends than girlfriends. I don't know why. I wouldn't consider myself like a tomboy, but I definitely like can't see myself chanting songs and living in a house with so many girls. I think that would just break me. So my biggest tip is if you don't join a sorority but you kind of like still want to be in that or like still be associated with that, you'll meet friends that are in sororities. My biggest tip, do the rush, meet some girls, have them join the sorority, and then when date parties and all those fun activities come, make sure they're single, and then you get to go as their date to everything, which is what I've done with my friend Cassidy. All of sophomore year, I was her date for the majority of her like fun date parties and stuff like that, and I got to experience the sorority life without having to actually be in it. I think I'm genius. I think I cracked the code. So if you want to do sorority stuff, but you don't want to pay to be a sorority or just deal with it 24/7, like with the grades and like the chants and the meetings and all that, find a friend that's in one. Make sure a friend is single. Have a friend take you to dances. Boom. Next up is, do you recommend studying abroad? Now, I studied abroad summer 2019, so a year ago, and I miss it. All my Snap memories are coming up. I'm feeling a little nostalgic, and with the current state of the world, things are getting better. I would definitely recommend, if you're able to and things open up, to study abroad. I had an amazing time. I went to Greece for the summer and I met so many amazing people. I had the summer of my life. Nothing can beat it. So I will link down below my study abroad playlist with literally every video. So if you are able to, I would recommend studying abroad. If you're nervous for studying abroad for an entire semester, I would recommend doing what I did, where I only studied abroad for the summer term or a J term, because obviously that's 4 to 6 weeks versus 4 to 6 months. So another question with study abroad is pros and cons of studying abroad if I can after Corona. The pros, I would say, is that you're meeting a lot of people, you're in a new environment, so you're experiencing just an entire different culture. I would say the cons is it can run expensive. There are a lot of scholarships and grants and loans that you can take, but it's just a really big thing to hop on a plane by yourself and know absolutely nobody. So I definitely think it can cause some people stress or anxiety or whatever it might be. But if you're thinking about studying abroad and you just need one like little push, or you're just looking for like a sign to do it, this is your sign. Take it, study abroad if you can. And I would say there's definitely a lot more pros than there are cons. You know, obviously when you're abroad, I think the biggest thing is you have to be careful with is knowing your surroundings and knowing who you are with, because I had plenty of people that I almost got robbed on the street. And you know, it depends where you're at, but you just really have to be careful when you're not in your normal space. So I would just say be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. And besides that, I would recommend studying abroad because I think there are so many more pros of doing it. And again, study abroad playlist, link down below. You should go watch it. What is apartment living like compared to the dorms? Oh, a million times better. I think it depends if you're at a public or private school, but because my school is private, they were just so strict about the dorm rules, who you can have over, for how long, what you can have in your room. And honestly, like, I get it, I do get it, but at the same time, I'm an adult. If I want to have someone over, that's not going to disturb my roommates, or I lived alone sophomore year, I'm not going to disturb anybody to have a friend over, girl or guy. But I think apartment living is so much better. Yes, you're making your own food, you're paying for rent, you're signing a lease, but I love the independence so much more. I remember freshman and sophomore year, I would have a friend over and the clock out time was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Sometimes we'd just be talking, okay? Nothing was happening. We were just hanging out, catching up, talking, and then it's like, oh, you gotta go. Sorry to break up the conversation. I think it's different depending on each school. Like when I visited my friends at Northwestern or my friend at Elon, it was like, no biggie, go into the dorm, you don't have to check in, nothing. But for Marquette at least, they're definitely very strict. So as soon as you can get into an apartment, move. Okay, so the next couple questions, house parties or bars. Now I'm gonna be 21 in a couple weeks, but I've never had a fake, don't drink, so never been to a bar in America, but I definitely would prefer bars over house parties because house parties are smushed. House parties, you can get arrested, the cops can show up and bust you, and then everyone runs, and it's just not that fun, especially when you're not doing anything illegal, so you shouldn't get in trouble. But when I studied abroad, I did go out to bars with my roommates, and we had a lot of fun, just walking around, and although I was the sober sister, I still had fun. I danced around, had some great appetizers, had some virgin pina coladas, and we were all good to go. Okay, so one of the last questions is casual hookups or relationships. Are you still in a long distance relationship? Are you dating to date or find the one? And just like dating in college questions. Now, here's some tea. Is it casual hookups? Is it looking to like find the person you're gonna marry after college? And I think it can go either way. Based on my friends, a lot of them just kind of date to get out there and experience dating and stuff like that, whether it's meeting somebody in class or on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I literally don't know the dating apps. Like I didn't date in college. I was in a long distance relationship for 3.5 years. I no longer am with that person. I don't know, I really have no advice. I didn't like casually date in college whatsoever. Since quarantine has happened and, you know, singleness and whatever, I'm gonna admit it, a couple of the guys are probably gonna watch this, you know, like, it is what it is, but now I know why I was in a relationship for so long, because getting back out there, getting in the game, it's interesting. Am I in a long distance relationship again? I don't that's for me to know and for you guys to eventually find out if I'm dating or single or whatever it might be. Actual final question is, what was your best day at college? Hanging out with friends, doing that. I've been to a couple of my friends' colleges and visiting them was a lot of fun. There's a lot of random memories and stuff like that. So if you're a freshman or gonna be senior like me or still in high school, enjoy college. I hope this Q&A helped in some sort of way. If you guys had questions, comment below if you have any more, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.